against this background, the House, in its wisdom, decided to enact the Tobacco Control Act in 2015. But, as I always kept on saying, our laws are not supposed to be static. Our laws are supposed to be organic, and as such, they are supposed to change in consonance with the changing realities of the time, so that they can effectively tackle the challenges that may have reared their ugly heads after the enactment of the Act. So it was in consonance with this principle that this bill or this amendment was sponsored to the 2015 Act with a view to curing certain latent and obvious defect that is inherent in the 2015 Act with a view to giving Nigerians the benefit of that Act. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, one of the obvious defects that is inherent in the 2015 Act, for which this amendment seeks to cure, is because of the taxes that is levied on tobacco companies is so minimal that it doesn't discourage the production and consumption of tobacco. When you go to other climes, tax levies are used as veritable instrument of discouraging tobacco smoking, sale, and production with a view to minimizing the health hazards that is usually associated with that act. So this amendment seeks to amend section 82 with a view to increasing the present amount of tax that is being levied to at least 40% with a view to discouraging tobacco companies from production, and thereby the ultimate advantage of discouraging consumption. Then it also seeks to amend section 8, subsection 3 of the Act to establish a fund that is going to administer tobacco control initiatives like tobacco tracking and also quick zone tests in tandem with World Health Organization guidelines. And then the present amendment also seeks to amend section 2, subsection 2 to add the Nigerian Police, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, as well as the Federal Ministry of Youth in activities that are aimed at discouraging tobacco smoking and also enforcement of regulations that are made sequel to the enactment of this act. Hitherto, the Nigerian Police and the Nigerian Civil Defense and Security Corps, as well as the Federal Ministry of Youth, are not stricto sensu involved in the enforcement of this act. And then the reasoning behind the inclusion of the Federal Ministry of Youth is because they are statutorily charged with the responsibility of looking at the welfare of our youth, and then also the reorientation of our youth, and also they are given the mandate for administering the National Youth Service Corps. So they will leverage on that mandate with a view to inculcating the virtues of non-smoking as well as the hazard that is usually associated with smoking to our teeming youth. Then there is also the amendment of section 8 of the Act to make it illegal to smoke in house occupied by minors and smoking in vehicles. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, it is a well-known fact that in Nigeria today, people smoke everywhere. You see people smoking in moving vehicles, people smoking in commercial vehicles, with all the attendant effect of secondary smoking and all the attendant health hazards that is usually associated with it. So this section seeks to amend that section 8 so that it is also an offense to engage in smoking where minors are going to be exposed to it with all its attendant health hazards, and also smoking in vehicles, thereby exposing other users of that vehicle to secondary smoking. And then also with regard to the issue of advertisement, though the present act as it is now captures the issue of advertisement in the television stations and radio stations and what have you, but it didn't capture the issue of advertisement in the social media as well as also in satellite TV stations. So this amendment also seeks to cure that defect, to take care of that situation so that advertisement of tobacco and tobacco-related products in the social media and also the satellite will also be discouraged. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Section 20 also seeks to amend the size of the display of graphic display of sign from at least 50% to 80%. For example, when you go to Europe, by the time you buy tobacco products, you will see health hazards, people that are afflicted with cancer as a result of tobacco smoking displayed in those facts. In Nigeria, it's not the case. If this thing is done, it will go a long way in discouraging people from smoking because of this graphic display that covers at least 80% of the fact that is being sold to consumers. So these are the amendments that is sought to be introduced by this bill that are hitherto not captured in the act. So because of the health hazard that is usually associated with smoking and its attendant economic problem that is usually associated with it, I urge my colleagues to support the second reading of this bill. Thank you.
Honorable Pajok.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, my name is Edward Pajok. I represent the South, just East of Plateau State. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support this very important bill, which is on the health of Nigerians, and the bill seeks to strengthen the existing legislation, which is on the National Tobacco Control Act. Mr. Speaker, let me further add that though the sponsor of the bill says this is 2015 legislation, may I add that it's only the latest amendment to the hitherto existing legislation, because this was contained in the 1990 and 2000 laws of the Federation. Mr. Speaker, some people may ask, why do we need to strengthen this legislation? Because there are provisions here that say that, for instance, in the proposed sections 9 and 12, it says that the amendment removes the provision of designated smoking areas which have not been known to serve the public interest. And also section 12 of this bill seeks to amend the act to eliminate tobacco advertising, promotion and sponsorship on both local and satellite media platforms. I've heard some people complain that some of these amendments are very, very draconian and they may affect the right of people who may choose not to smoke. Mr. Speaker, my response is to refer us to the existing law, because the law as of now already exists. Particularly, let me read sections 1A, E to G of the present law. Section 1A of the National Tobacco Control Act says the objectives of this act are to A, protect present and future generations of Nigerians and residents of Nigeria from the devastating health, social, economic, and environmental consequences of use of or exposure to tobacco or tobacco products and exposure to tobacco or tobacco product smoke. Then E says, discourage smoking, initiation, encourage stoppage of tobacco or tobacco products smoking, and reduce tobacco or tobacco product consumption through the measures provided in this act, including through behavior and norm changes brought about by smoke-free environments. And F says, inform consumers of the health consequences, addictive nature, and mortal threats posed by tobacco or tobacco product consumption and exposure to tobacco or tobacco product smoke. Then G, build up and make knowledge available to consumers and the populace at large on the harmful effects, risk, and specific harm of tobacco or tobacco product use and exposure to tobacco or tobacco product smoke. Finally, H, to discourage tobacco or tobacco products use and encourage cessation among users, including through product packaging and labeling. Mr. Speaker, this is the present law, and this is the law that our honorable colleague seeks to amend by strengthening. So he's not doing anything that is illegal, but may I add that let us allow this bill to go to the committee stage. There, instead of using some words in drafting like eliminate, we may now substitute with regulate. Because when you regulate, you may say, well, this area is designated, but if you run foul of the law or you find yourself there, then maybe the penalty may be increased to say you may pay a fine of 500,000 naira or imprisonment of 1 year or 2 years. But to say there's an outright ban, it may offend some people's sensibility. So on the whole, I would say that in view of the health concerns which he has elaborately enunciated, to say that this is dangerous to our own health, it affects our lungs. In fact, even second-hand smokers, like those who do not smoke, you find yourself in an environment where there are smokers, but due to no fault of yours, you are inhaling the smoke. It also endangers your own health. So this bill seeks to, let me say, make us live a healthier life. I encourage colleagues to please support the bill. If there are some gray areas, it will be fine-tuned in the committee stage. I still support.
Dr. Ms. and then Honorable Aponte will round up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Dr. Mohammed Sani Abdu, Al-Kaliriki Federal Constituency, Bauchi State. Mr. Speaker, I think this particular bill is very, very important in the sense that it is a domestication, first of all, of the International Air Travel Agency rule, IATA rule, which started to designate special places, just as you said, in airports, because of rampant complaint all over. And I also remember during the 6th Assembly, we also passed the FCT Tobacco Control and Smoking Act bill here. It passed into act in the FCT. And now it's a nationwide thing, and also the issue at advertisement. But sir, we have a very big problem, and I think that's why these particular suggestions, along with that of Pajok, we should also include the issue of weak institutions, like the issue of Consumer Protection Council and the issue of Standard Organization of Nigeria, whereby, you know, they don't even have the requisite money, the laboratories, the people to go around and control all these things. And I think it's very, very important at the committee level that we look at and strengthen also these institutions so that they can perform their function. Another thing is the issue of colta, a carcinogenic substance within, you are supposed to declare it should not be more than 1.2% or something like that within the tobacco. And there is no declaration in most of the tobacco produced in Nigeria. And I think this is a very important issue that needs also to be included. And by going to the second reading, we should be able to look into it and declare it as a dangerous issue. Finally, sir, there is a very, very important thing. We need to link up the issue of tobacco consumption and that of marijuana or hashish or weed or whatever you saw. As long as we have not been able to link them, most of our young people now are migrating. They found that even tobacco is too weak, and therefore second reading committee must look at how we can enforce this area in such a way that we can protect our younger population. If we don't do that, we are doing nothing, because already they are migrating from tobacco to all those kind of other things that give them high, give them protection from joblessness, from indolence, from deprivation, and so on. So it's a very, very important amendment bill, but it needs to be enriched and strengthened, widened, in order to achieve these important areas that I have raised. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I so support.
Okay, whatever, Bonta.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Uzoma Nkem Abonta, Mr. Speaker from Mother State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to lend support on this tobacco amendment bill. Mr. Speaker, Honorable colleagues, it is interesting to know that in Nigeria we operate the most liberal tobacco policy in the world. Mr. Speaker, as a matter of fact, our present Tobacco Control Act is as good as encouraging smoking of tobacco in its entirety. I think that if we are talking about health and controlling our health and all whatnot, then we must come with stringent regulatory measures on tobacco consumption. Mr. Speaker, outside this climb, tobacco control is taken seriously. It's only in Nigeria that people smoke tobacco in public places, in clubs, in beer parlors, and all whatnot. I think that this bill should not only go for second reading, but we should fix a time frame within which it must be reported out. Mr. Speaker, if we fail to put a stringent control on tobacco consumption now, then we'll be doing Nigerians a disfavor. I want to thank the proponents of this bill and beg our colleagues to allow it go for second reading, but Mr. Speaker, with a tag that within 30 days, within some time, let there be public hearing and the bill reported out that we may have a sound tobacco regime. Otherwise, from what we've seen so far, the manufacturers of tobacco companies in Nigeria have exploited all the various lacunas based on production, on marketing and consumption and all whatnot to our own disadvantage. That it may interest to know that tobacco being manufactured in Nigeria falls short the standard of the regulation outside. The nicotine content and all whatnot is stronger. Nobody controls, nobody measures, and when we have our custom agents and so on, they also lack the necessary tools to even measure and regulate and the quantity of what is being added there and what not. Therefore, I move in strong terms that we should allow this bill to pass the second reading, and we should also put a time frame within which it will come back to the House for consideration. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
So I guess we're done. So I'll put a question. Question is the bill be now read second time. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Clerks invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to amend the National Tobacco Control Act 2015 to address the lacuna that may be easily exploited by the tobacco industry in Nigeria and to cure certain defects in the act, ensure its effective implementation in Nigeria and for related matters. Second reading.
Be referred to Committee on Healthcare Services. Fifth order of the day, honorable colleagues, is commencement of debate on the general principles of bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to increase the retirement age of judicial officers appointed to the courts other than the Supreme Court and Court of Appeal and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Uzoma Nkem Abonta. Honorable members who recall the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 5th December 2017. And I invite Honorable Abonta to move that the bill be now read the second time. I hope this is not a political motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Uzoma Nkem Abonta. Mr. Speaker, yours truly is. At the time we sit out, most of us who are also lawyers will seek to go to the bench, and by the time we go there, we need some years to also put in. Mr. Speaker, I move that a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to increase the retirement age of judicial officers appointed to other courts other than Supreme Court and Court of Appeal and for related matters be put to second reading. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Deputy Minority Leader.
I'm Chukwuka Onyema. I rise to second the motion that the bill be read the second time as duly moved by Honorable Abonta. Thank you.
Abonta, lead the debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Uzoma Nkem Abonta. Mr. Speaker, this bill seeks to bring at par retirement age for all judicial officers and the court of record. Mr. Speaker, the bill was filed, as you read out, December 2017. Almost 1 year today. As at the time we are doing the Constitution amendment, we could not let this be part of it because it had not been done the second reading. Mr. Speaker, what we're asking is the older the stay of the judges, the more they are matured. Mr. Speaker, the House found it fit and necessary to increase retirement age of Supreme Court and Court of Appeal to 70. Because as at the time they are now coming to get the experience, they were asked to leave at 65. Mr. Speaker, it is also just like the legislature. The older the legislator, the more matured they are. It will be very, very unreasonable and unfair to ask a judge of a high court or other court of record to vacate upon attaining 65. Mr. Speaker, some judges are appointed at 60, 62. At the time they begin to be of real value to the system, they are being made to leave because of age. Mr. Speaker, we got this clue when some judges who went to Supreme Court had to leave after 3 years of service because of age. And now we deemed it fit to change it to 70. On that note, I'm also asking that the judges of the Federal High Court, other courts of Court of Records should also be allowed to leave at 70. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we sat down here and also changed the age of professors because we deemed it fit that upon research and all whatnot, you get a better professor. So if we had asked professors to leave at 60-65 will be doing this service to Nigeria. And therefore, this is a harmless bill, but try to bring about professionalism, thorough job, and maturity among judicial officers. I want to suggest and beg strongly that colleagues should allow this bill to a second reading. On a lighter note, just as the Speaker asked, what bill is this? Most of us who are also in the practice of legal business, if we do not increase the age, assume Mr. Speaker gets appointed at the point of sit down to the bench at the age of 60, is he going to serve only 5 years? I mean, he must be able to do 10 years or above, because I know that he must have garnered a lot of experience while here and so on, that the bench may reach him one day. On that note, sir, I pray that this bill be allowed to do a second reading at the committee stage. We will find the appropriate ways and means to bring our judicial officers in a uniformity and a path. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I pray that we are allowed to respond. Thank you. I so move.
Honorable colleagues, I'll put the question. Question is the bill be now read second time. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk is invited to read the law title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to increase the retirement age of judicial officers appointed to other courts other than the Supreme Court and Court of Appeal and for related matters. Second reading.
Yes. Honorable colleagues, there's a supplement to the other paper. It's the last. Pardon? Oh, okay, I've not referred this. The bill is referred to Special Ad Hoc Committee on Review of the 1999 Constitution. Supplement to the other paper, we have the last bill we'll take there. The next order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of bill for an act to amend the Federal College of Dental Technology and Therapy Act number 8 of 2017 to provide for amendment of the interpretation section to bring the act in conformity with other existing laws in Nigeria and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Gideon Gwani. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 7th June 2018. I now invite Honorable Gwani to move that the bill be now read the second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Gideon Gwani. I come from Kaduna State. I represent Kaura Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I move that a bill for an act to amend the Federal College of Dental Technology and Therapy to provide for amendment of the interpretation section to bring the act in conformity with other existing laws in Nigeria and for related matters. I move for second reading, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Bonvik. Honorable Shegun. Odebumi. Second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, Odebumi Shegun is my name. I represent the good people of Surulere Federal Constituency. I hereby rise to second the motion ably moved by my colleagues. I so second.
Who is the colleague that moved the motion? Okay, you don't want to be, Princess doesn't want you to be exposed, so I leave it at that. But she's participants criminals. Honorable Gwani, lead the debate, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, Mr. Speaker, this is a simple amendment to the existing bill that was passed. And the singular reason why this amendment will come is that the functions of the college as enshrined in the Principal Act in Section 4 is to provide for courses of training and also instructions with research leading to the award of degrees and also relevant certificates. So this college is basically an educational institute. So this amendment is a single amendment that in section 33 of the Principal Act, it seeks to substitute the word health with education in paragraph 4, line 2. So Mr. Speaker, my colleagues, I believe that this is a very straightforward bill that seeks to amend the interpretation section to the Principal Act to bring it in conformity with other existing legislation. I therefore call on my honorable colleagues to please support this bill for second reading. Thank you.
It's a one-clause amendment, so I put a question. Question is that the bill will now read the second time. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to amend the Federal College of Dental Technology and Therapy Act number 8 of 2017 to provide for amendment of the interpretation section to bring the act in conformity with other existing laws in Nigeria and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill will refer to Committee of the Whole. Sixth order of the day, honorable colleagues, motion on rescission of clauses 1 to 26 of the bill for an act to amend the provisions of the Electoral Act number 6 of 2010 for related matters, House Bill 1544, pursuant to Order 1, Rule 1-2, and Order 9, Rule 16 of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives, standing in the name of Honorable E.Y. Okejeb. Honorable Okejeb is now invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Okejeb. I represent the good people of Burugu, my dear colleagues. I'm from Benue State. This is a motion for rescission of clauses 1 to 26 of the bill for an act to amend the provisions of the Electoral Act number 6 of 2010 and for related matters, AB 1544, pursuant to Order 1, Rule 1, Sub-Rule 2, and Order 9, Rule 1, Sub-Rule 6 of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives. The House notes that clauses 1 to 26 of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2018 was considered and adopted on Wednesday, 17 October 2018, and deferred further consideration of the remaining clauses of the bill. Aware of certain new matters considered pertinent to the electoral process to be captured in the bill to ensure transparent and credible elections 2019. Resolved to rescind its decision on clauses 1 to 26 of the bill for an act to amend the provisions of the Electoral Act number 6 of 2010 and for related matters, and recommit the bill to the Committee of the Whole for further legislative action. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I so move.
Seconder. Honorable Aisha Tudukko.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Honorable Aisha Tudukko, member representing the Kunafa Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion, ably moved by the Chairman, Rules and Business. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Seventh order of the day is a motion on need to investigate the increasing rate of adulterated petroleum products in Nigeria and its negative impact, standing in the name of Honorable Joseph Edonwela. Honorable Joseph is now invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I'm Honorable Joseph Edonwela. My motion is on the need to investigate the increasing rate of adulterated petroleum products in Nigeria and its negative impacts. The House knows that adulteration of petroleum products is the mixing of pure products with other substances, thus diminishing the quality of the original products. Aware that recently, as a result of greed for higher profits, marketers of petroleum products resort to adulteration of petroleum products without putting into consideration the danger to consumers and consequent economic losses to the country. Concerned that the adulterated products can be dangerous to consumers who use the products as domestic fuel as well as for vehicle and other machineries. Worried that the adulteration of products causes serious health hazard to human life, the environment and properties. Also aware that the negative effects of petroleum products adulterated can result to significant loss in government revenue and other economic losses. Anxious to ensure that security, safety, and well-being of our citizens are protected and to safeguard government revenue from loss owing to the attendant effects of adulterated petroleum products. The House do resolve and mandate the Committee on Environment and Habitat and Petroleum Resources downstream to prevail on the regulatory agencies to set up its activities in checking adulteration of petroleum products and continually monitor such departments or agencies as part of its oversight functions and report back to the House quarterly. I so submit.
Honorable Aminu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Aminu Ashur Manis. My name, member representing Bindaman. I am from Katsina State. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by Honorable Joseph, and I so second. Thank you.
Honorable Joseph. Even though the motion is investigative, you speak to the motion and then I'll put the question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Like you rightly observed, it's investigative, but it's a well-known fact that our petroleum products like kerosene, diesel, gas, and petrol are now being adulterated. And a lot of our domestic users have lost their lives, properties, as a result of this adulteration of our products. Why our marketers are smiling to the bank, a lot of our families are mourning for their losses and the houses they lost and all that. So we are asking that we set up, mandate the Committee on Environmental and Petroleum Resources downstream to prevail on the regulatory agencies to ensure that they set up monitoring units in their various agencies so that we can reduce this disaster that is now so regular. So we are appealing that we mandate and approve that the committees should prevail on the agencies to ensure that monitoring units are set up. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Sergio Sogo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Sergius Ose Ogun. I represent Eastern Southeast, Eastern Northeast, and I am from Edo State. Mr. Speaker, I just want to add a little to what my leader from Edo State already mentioned. Honorable Joe Jonwe. Mr. Speaker, I have a first-hand experience of this adulteration. Leading to the 2015 elections, I bought some Land Rover Discovery and some Ford Rangers. All diesel, because this is commonly used in the oil industry because they are supposed to be more resilient. That's diesel engine. And within a very short period, they all packed up because the diesel were all adulterated. And then right now, most people using diesel engines will also have to contend with either changing nozzles, changing a whole lot of things in the engine. And this is not cheap. Mr. Speaker, we were in a retreat with DPR, and I brought this to their attention. So I said, this is not good for business. If people have to buy cars that are supposedly more rugged for operations, and they end up spending so much to maintain them, and they feign ignorance. So I know there are issues with with kerosene, the kerosene blast in homes and all. So, Mr. Speaker, I am very particular about this motion, and I think you should actually call the DPRO to order, because people shouldn't go to the pump station to buy fuel and they are shortchanged, and at the end of the day they are spending so much money to maintain even the vehicles for which they should what they have bought to run. So, Mr. Speaker, I think we should take this very seriously, because besides the fact that they are spending money on this, lives are also involved, because the incident we've had in homes as a result of kerosene blast is enormous. I know a family back in my constituency that their house caught fire, and I think they lost like 4 or 5 people in one family. And this should not be allowed. And I keep saying on the floor of this house, when we report things like this, no serious investor wants to come to a country when simple regulatory issues cannot be managed by agencies set up to handle this. So, Mr. Speaker, without belaboring this, I want to support this motion 100%. Thank you.
Honorable colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Eighth order of the day is a motion on urgent needs to investigate the failure of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN, in maintaining standards and professionalism of accountancy, complicity of ICAN-trained accountants in sharp practices, and corruption, and its implication on the Nigerian economy, standing in the name of Honorable Samuel Ikon. Honorable Ikon is now invited to move the motion. Chairman, Rules and Business.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that we step down item number 8 on the order paper. I so move.
Motion step down by leave of the House. Yes. Can you approach the chair, please? All of you. Honorable colleagues, we are sorry we had to confer on so many outstanding issues since it appears that we are joining plenary for oversight for about a week from today. We want to ensure that whatever issues we have outstanding are thoroughly exhausted so that by the time we leave there will be no need for pressure on the National Assembly to reconvene plenary. So we're sorry about that. Before moving to consideration of report, the ad hoc membership of the committee to investigate the crisis in the National Health Insurance Scheme, House Resolution 5810/2018, is composed as follows: Honorable Nana Ibokwe, member; Honorable Akinwumi Nuruddin, Southwest, member; Honorable Osai, chairman; Honorable John Dare, member; Honorable Samaila Suleiman, member; Honorable Bukar Ghana, member; Honorable Olatuposun George, member. Honorable colleagues, the leadership met in consultation with the leadership. We decided to fill vacancies in existing committee leadership and to effect one or two changes. The outcome is as follows. I'll announce it. Committee FCT Judiciary, Honorable Ndutse Muktari will be the substantive chairman. Rules and Business, Honorable Edward Spajok. FCT, Honorable OK Jeff Visa. Human Rights, Honorable Sadiq Abubakar. Housing, Honorable Mahmoud Mohammed. Solid Minerals, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas. Privatization and Commercialization, Honorable Hali Rujika. Constituency Outreach, Honorable Ahmed Yerima. Police, Honorable Lawal Abubakar Garba. Population, Honorable Engineer Minusani. Land Transport, Honorable Abdul Mumin Jibril. Okay, Deputy Chairman, Special Duties, Honorable Ayo Joseph. Army, Honorable Tokpe Olayenu. FCT Judiciary, Honorable Ayo Omidaran. Ninth order of the day is consideration of bill for an act to amend the provisions of Electoral Act No. 6/2010 and for related matters. Honorable members who recall that the bill was committed to the Committee of the Whole on Tuesday, 16 October 2018. Honorable Aisha Tuduku will move for the consideration of the report.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, my highly respected colleagues. I rise to move that the House consider the report on the Committee on Electoral and Political Parties Matters on the amendment of the Electoral Act 2010. I so move.
Honorable Jega.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, my honorable colleagues. I am Mohammed Umar Jega, representing Aleru Gondu Jega constituency. I rise to second the motion, ably moved by my honorable colleague. I so second. Thank
you. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Okay. Move it. Okay, leader, could you move that we resolve into committee of the whole to consider the report?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move that the House dissolve the committee of whole for consideration of the reports. I so move.
Rules and business. Thank you, former chairman, rules and business.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion that the House do resolve into committee of the whole. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. House hereby resolve into committee of the whole. Keep my things there.
Honorable Pajok, Chairman Rules and Business, please take your seat. Honorable Pajok, take your appropriate seat with immediate effect. Senator Okejeb, please vacate your seat. Senator Okejeb, can you leave that? Senator Okejeb should leave that seat.
Honorable Prestige and Abonta. Come forward. Come forward. Honorable colleagues. Yes. Honorable Ali Madaki. You can't be whipping people while you are standing. Take your seat. Honorable colleagues, let's please start this job very quickly so that we can finish it. And today, we are not going to allow for controversy. We are only going to concentrate on areas that were observed by Mr. President for no assenting to it in the first instance. So we're going to allow the Chairman's Committee on Electoral and Political Party Matters to just concentrate on those areas of the bill that were observed
not to be in tandem with the principal act, so that we can quickly get done with it and pass it. So, honorable colleagues, the report to be considered is that of the House Committee on Electoral and Political Party Matters on a bill for an act to amend the Electoral Act number 6, 2010 and other matters connected there with 2018 House Bill 1554. And I invite the Chairman House Committee on Electoral and Political Party Matters to speak to the report. And like I said, to please just concentrate on those areas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, my highly respected colleague. You may recall that this House passed this very electoral amendment bill in 2018 and forwarded them to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for his assent. Pursuant to Section 58(4) of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, the President declined assent due to some lacuna on issues and in some clauses of the bill, and advised that those observations as highlighted in paragraph 3 below needed to be addressed. Hence the reason for the reintroduction of this very important bill. The presidential decision to decline assent to the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2018 is contained in the votes and proceedings of Wednesday, 10th October 2018. We all have this. The letters are there. What were Mr. President's observations? They are on clause 4, which amends section 18, deals with erroneous cross-references.
Let me remind honorable colleagues that we should concentrate on those areas that he's talking about, so that after finishing, it's only those areas that we are likely to, we will just run through this bill. So it's important you pay attention. If you have a copy of what you are reading, let every colleague get a copy, so that you concentrate on those areas alone. Everybody has. Okay, go ahead, please.
As I said, clause 4, which amends section 18, deals with erroneous cross-references made in the bill that was sent earlier for assent. Then clause 10, which amends section 36(3), deals with qualifying language. It stated that a qualifying language as contained in clause 36(3) of the Principal Act should be reconsidered due to its unintended effect, because it may unduly increase the cost and administrative burden of conducting elections in the event that any candidate, no matter how inconsequential to the overall electoral process, passes away during the elections. Then clause 14. Clause 14, which amends section 49(3), deals with failure of a card reader. Where a smart card reader deployed for accreditation of voters fails to function in any polling unit, and a fresh card reader is not deployed 3 hours to the close of the stipulated election time in that unit, then the election in that polling unit shall be postponed, rescheduled, and conducted within 24 hours. Then clause 24. Clause 24, which amends section 8714, deals with the issue of deadline for primary election. The dates of the primaries shall not be earlier than 150 days and not later than 90 days before the date of the election to the elective offices. The same clause also stipulates a specific period within which political party primaries are required to be held, since the unintended consequences of leaving INEC with only 9 days to collate and compile lists of candidates and of political parties for the various elections is not practical. This is because the earlier Electoral Act Amendment Bill did not properly amend sections 31, 33, and 85 of the Principal Act that stipulates timeline for submission of lists of candidates, publication of lists of candidates, notice of conventions and congresses for nominating candidates for election. Same also with clause 32, which seeks to amend section 144. This deals with the omission of a name of a candidate or a logo of a political party, and this is observed where there is a punishment for the INEC staff where the omission is from them, and where the election is postponed, the punishment is either imprisonment for 2 years or a fine of 2 million naira. Now, those are the areas. Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, I want to specifically and categorically state very clearly that all the issues raised by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria while declining his assent to this bill have been captured and addressed. We now recommend favorably for this House to consider and pass this bill as recommended. In conclusion, Mr. Chairman, on behalf of our Committee on Electoral and Political Parties Matters, I wish to sincerely express our tremendous gratitude to the Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Yakubu Dogara, the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Yusuf Lasun, and all honorable members of the House of Representatives for the opportunity given to us to serve in this regard. I thank you, Mr. Chairman, and honorable colleagues.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Just give me 30 seconds. Clerk.
Okay, honorable colleagues,
It's slightly a technical job because I don't want us to waste too much time on it. We're actually going to deal with those issues in third column. But for it to be easier, we now see the remarks in the fourth column, which is talking about the actual recommendation. So that is actually the issues we are going to concern ourselves with, so that we don't go through all the issues. So if you take, if you go to page 2, where section 5 of the principal act is sought to be amended, so there is a new insertion, and that is what we are going to approve here. So carried. We go to page 3. Page 3 where section 9 of the principal act is sought to be amended, as there is a new insertion, and that is what we are going to carry. Nobody should talk about page 3 again. Rita. Who is I'm on point. Who?
All the people whose names and signatures appear on this agree with what the chairman read.
Okay. I just remember that you are not a regular member of this part of the house. This is a little matter. Let's go to page 5. There's nothing on page 4. There's nothing on page 4. We go to page 5 where the Section 4 of the Principal Act is sought to be amended and is being amended accordingly. Carried. We go to page 9 where page 6. We go to page 9 where Section 33 of the Principal Act is sought to be amended and is accordingly amended. Carried. Go to page 12. Where there is a new insertion, and that is part of Section 38 of the Principal Act and is being amended accordingly. Carried. Page 13 dealt with Section 44 of the Principal Act, and there is a new insertion, and that has been accordingly amended and is carried. Page 25, where the amendment dealt with Section 76 of the Principal Act, and we have new insertion, and that has been amended accordingly and is carried. Page 25. On page 25 too, Section 78 of the Principal Act too has a little amendment and it's been done accordingly. Carried. Page 45. 35. Sorry. Thank God. People are at alert. Yes, page 35. That dealt with another insertion, and that has accordingly been amended. In the case of nomination to the position of presidential candidate in the presidential election, political parties are where it tends to sponsor a candidate, and all the amendment has been indicated is a new insertion. So carried. Dr. Salame. It's part of 20, starting from 25 to 26. Don't let Salami take you up on that. Page 45 is a new insertion too, and it's been accordingly amended, so carried. What do you want to observe? Please, this is where I always have issues. Unless I call something, you can't observe anything. Unless you want to talk of one that I've called, that's the procedure in the committee of the whole. You will not listen to me. I've not called anything, so you can't observe anything. I'm talking to you. Good. So if I call a clause, then you can observe. Jerry, you can't just because you are in the floor today, on the floor today. You can't just because of that. My My eyes cannot catch you.
Page 61.
Page 61.
Sought to amend
section 120 of the Principal Act with a new insertion, and it has accordingly been done. Carried. We go to 65.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, sorry, Your Excellency. Thank you very much.
Okay, 63.
Okay, 63.
That has been done.
Too. Is the same section that is trying to amend, and it's been done. Carried.
Then we go to
65. Seeking to amend 140 of the Principal Act, and it has been accordingly done. Carried. We go to page 70. Which sought to amend section 151 of the Principal Act, and it has been accordingly done. Carried. 72 is still part of. Okay, 72 sought to amend 156, and it's been done. Carried. We go to page 74, and it's still part of that section 156 of the Principal Act, and that has been done to. Carried. Page 80, a new insertion. Its interpretation, so it's carried. It's trying to interpret who a presiding officer is. And 81 too is interpreting who a returning officer is. Carried. The same thing is interpreting who a ward collation officer is, and is carried.
Then
short title. Schedule. Explanatory memorandum. Long title of the bill.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, honorable colleagues, for being patient with us.
We didn't take it close by close. We didn't take it close one. We concentrated on the game.
So we should. So this bill has 157 clauses. This bill has 157 clauses. Honorable Prestige, this is a part of the house where strict instruction. You must follow the rule and the procedure. So we want to go back to pass the clauses now. I want to follow the procedure of this particular section of the house. So you can only comment on something that is mentioned by the presiding officer. So clause 1. Clause 2.
Clause 3.
Clause 3.
Clause 4.
Clause 4.
Clause 5.
Clause 5.
Clause 6.
Clause 6.
Clause 7.
Clause 7.
Clause 8.
Clause 8.
Clause 9.
Clause 9.
Clause 10.
Clause 10.
Clause 11.
Clause 11.
Clause 12.
Clause 12.
Jones. Clause 13.
Clause 13.
Clause 14.
Clause 14.
Clause 15.
Clause 15.
Clause 16.
Clause 16.
Clause 17.
Clause 17.
Clause 18.
Clause 18.
Clause 19.
Clause 19.
Clause 20.
Clause 20.
Clause 21.
Clause 21.
Clause 22.
Clause 22.
Clause 23.
Clause 23.
Clause 24.
Clause 24.
Clause 25.
Clause 26.
Clause 26.
Clause 27.
Clause 28.
Clause 28.
Clause 29.
Clause 29.
Clause
Clause 30. Clause 31. Clause 32. Clause 33. Clause 34. Clause 35. Clause 36. Clause 27. Clause 38. Clause 39. Clause 40. Clause 41. Clause 42. Clause 43. Prestige.
What is the issue?
What is the issue? I'm not recognized to sit, take your seat. I'm on clause 43 now.
So what is the issue?
So what is the issue? Chairman Army, what is the issue on clause 43? I beg, these people go and exchange with your brother so that I don't confuse you again.
Mr. Chairman, my comment is on clause 24. Mr. Chairman, we have stopped this. Mr. Chairman, we have raised the observation. I raised the observation before we pass.
Okay, sit down.
Mr. Chairman, I hope we are here to discuss this report.
No worry, now take your seat now. Chairman, it is something now.
It's the same issue.
Yes. I tell you, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Clause 44.
Clause 45.
Clause 45.
Clause 46.
Clause 46.
Clause 47.
Clause 47.
Clause 48.
Clause 49.
Clause 49.
Clause 50.
Clause 50.
Clause 51.
Clause 51.
The outgone chairman rules and business. I hope there is no issue. Clause 50.
51.
51.
52.
52.
53.
53.
54.
54.
55.
55.
56.
56.
57.
58.
59.
59.
60.
60.
61.
61.
62.
62. 63. 64. 65. 66. 67. 68. 69. 70. 71. 72. 73. 74. 75. 76. 77. 78. 79. 80. 81. 82. 83. 84. 85. 86. 87. 88. 89. 90. 91. 92. 93. 94. 95. 96. 97. 98. 99. 100. 101. Sorry, Bujari. We are 101. What's wrong with 86? 85. Okay. 85. Siagia. 102. 103. 104. 105. 106. 107. 108. 109. 110. 111. 112. 113. 114. 115. 116. 117. 118. 119. 120. 121. 122. 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130, 131, 132, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137, 138, 139, 140, 141, 142, 142, 143, 144, 145, 146, 147, 148, 149, 150. Honorable Akiraja. 150. 150. Lawan Shuaib.
No, don't answer.
No, don't answer on his behalf. Shuaib.
You are okay.
You are okay.
Okay.
You can help ask if Dr. MS is okay too. 151. 152, 153, 154, 155, 156, 157. First schedule. Short title. Explanatory memorandum. Long title of the bill. So prestige, I can listen to you now. Empty.
Honorable Chairman, honorable members, I hereby move that the House refer to plenary to report progress.
Chairman rules and business. Chairman rules and business. I'm deliberate.
No,
Chairman rules and business. I'm deliberate.
Chairman, I hereby second the motion.
The House hereby reverts back to plenary to report progress. Honorable colleagues, the House in the Committee of the Whole considered the report on a bill for an act to amend the provisions of the Electoral Act No. 6 of 2010 and for related matters and approve clauses 1 to 157, the schedule, the explanatory memorandum, and long title of the bill. Empty.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I hereby move that the House to adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole.
Chairman FCT.
It's having. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I'm not supposed to be fighting with you. You create a fight and I don't want to fight. I stand to second the motion as moved by the acting leader of the House.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. Hey, the ayes have it. I know those who said nay lost their tickets in their respective parties. That's why you don't want the electoral act to pass.
Now empty.
We have to do third reading of this bill, so you do it.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I hereby move for the third reading of a bill for an act to amend the Electoral Act No. 6, 2010 and for related matters therein. I so move.
Chairman FCT. Second the third reading.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion as simply moved by the acting leader of the House. I so second.
Those in support of the third reading of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to amend the Electoral Act No. 6, 2010 and for other matters connected therewith. Third reading.
Bill read for the third time and pass. Empty. Adoption of votes and proceeding.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I hereby move that the House do adopt the vote and proceedings of today. So,
Chairman FCT.
I rise to second the motion as moved by the acting leader of the House. I so second.
Those in
favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Empty. Till November 6.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I hereby move that the House do adjourn the 6th of November 2018 by 11 a.m. I so move to enable the House proceed for an oversight.
Chairman FCT.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion that the House do proceed on oversight. Okay, I so second.
The House stand by. The House adjourns plenary for oversight function till November 6, 2018.